Welcome back to the channel, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back to the channel.
So today we are continuing that sort of wedding experience. We're going to be going and checking out our family's Airbnb that they rented right by the Las Vegas Strip and the Las Vegas airport.
Yeah, so come tag along with us while we go stay in our first Airbnb. Alright guys, so we're about to go out on another adventure, so make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, because when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna jump off the Strat. So let's go.
We rented an Airbnb by the Las Vegas airport because we had a lot of family coming in and we needed some place for them to be able to get together while also doing some things. So this is the main living room of the Airbnb. This is actually the only room with Las Vegas artwork, so it was kind of strange that the rest of the house has all this weird sort of artwork and kind of a hodgepodge, and this was the only one that actually had Las Vegas themed artwork in it, but it did have a nice and huge comfy sofa. There's the dining room over there, and as we scroll you'll see there's a staircase as we enter the home, very common in Las Vegas, and then it goes back to like an office on the right and then another family area on the right as well. This would be the office area. This was a really nice place to work. If you have a lot of people, there's an extra bed. You could sleep on that couch too, and the desk was not too bad. So this is the kitchen area. It had some pretty new appliances. It had a Keurig, and it had a decent amount of stuff to help us. A legit tip, though, is that when we were staying here, because it's so close to the airport, we would get planes almost every 5 minutes flying over the house, and sometimes at night every 2 minutes. So if you have problems sleeping with noise, you may want to be cautious where you're renting Airbnbs, because a lot of them are around the airport, as well as in some low-income areas where there's some gentrification. So most of the homes are still probably being remodeled. This was the dining area in the house. It was kind of a nice little get-together place. This is the outside of the house. We weren't actually allowed to be out here after like 10 o'clock at night, and there were a lot of restrictions on the house. So another legit tip for renting an Airbnb, make sure that they don't have any hidden contracts that they drop on you on the last day. About a day or two before we were to arrive, we actually got a contract with a bunch of other stipulations outside of Airbnb that we couldn't do in the home, like make a lot of noise, go outside, park our cars outside in the driveway. All cars had to be inside. Also, we were only allowed to have a certain amount of family members in the home. So again, legit tip in Las Vegas, because of the nature of the city, make sure that they don't have any hidden stipulations that they're going to pull on you once you get there. Here's the outside and the back of the home. You'll see it's kind of nice, but again, this house was in mid-remodel, so they're remodeling it to maybe flip it or live in it, I don't know, but this is kind of mid-remodel, so there are a lot of things that are unfinished that you're going to see in a second. We're going to turn to an outdoor cooking area that was absolutely useless and in the middle of being remodeled. So nothing's done, you can't use it, and there's some dangerous edges and some wires that are exposed here that are just not a good combination. You'll also see, we're going to show you in a second, the yard on the side, which will be some issues. Here's the side yard of the house. The grill was useless, rusted out, couldn't use it. And you'll see all of the boxes and everything are just in the middle of construction. So they're still working on remodeling this place, which makes it a little bit unsafe. As we head up the stairs, we'll see some of the other rooms that have been prepared to stay in. This is what we would have considered the master bedroom. All of the bedrooms were about the same size, but this one was actually connected to a bathroom, so this would be considered the master bedroom. It had some nice hanging lights, and it had access to a porch, but you couldn't go on the porch because, again, the house was being remodeled. So here's the master bathroom. It's a nice bathroom. The window in the edge is supposed to have a switch that closes blinds, but we never could find the switch to close the blinds. So if you wanted to pee in this bathroom, you could see the neighbors. And there's the neighbor's yard with a RV in the backyard, and the backyard for this one. was a nice big bathroom with dual sinks, and everything was, coming along nicely. But again, it's in the middle of a remodel, so things like the window not closing or having no privacy in the bathroom were definitely a problem for us. I think they did both here and downstairs are these big, heavy, bulky barn doors. I don't really like them. They weigh a lot. They're kind of difficult to close, and they didn't really seal very well because they're still in the middle of finishing this. Here's the outside deck that we couldn't go on. There were some chairs and stuff, but again, it wasn't finished, so we weren't allowed to go out there. Here's the guest bathroom. It was a lot darker because, again, they were still remodeling this house. The bathroom was also much smaller than the other one, so it was a little bit tighter in a cramped space. And the one thing that was sort of difficult is there was no sort of slip things on the tub, so it was a little bit slippery when you were taking a shower. Here's the second bedroom upstairs. This was a nice bedroom. We've already torn the sheets off because we were getting ready to leave, so that's why the sheets are on the floor. There's the TV. They weren't connected to anything. They didn't show anything, so none of the TVs in the house had anything. And here's some more of that weird artwork. Nothing is consistent throughout the house. Different colors. It just seemed to be whatever they could get to put in it while they're remodeling. This was the last bedroom upstairs, and again, some weird art that's sort of hodgepodge together, a nice little closet, and a TV, again, that wasn't plugged into anything and didn't work. The one thing we will say is there was a lot of room, so if you had a lot of people, it would be helpful, but again, you had to sign that hidden contract at the end that didn't allow many people to go in there. Here's a look downstairs towards the entry area. It had this nice little hanging fixture that was really kind of too big for the space that it was put into. And not really hung very well because it's not high enough to be seen out the window, but it's not low enough to give enough light. Oh, there is a washer. Oh, there is me. Hey, there's a washer and dryer on this, which is really nice, but you couldn't actually use it and leave the doors open because the space is too small. So it's a little bit too big for the space that they put it in. We did get a 3-car garage, but one of the spots we couldn't use because the homeowner had a bunch of the stuff for the remodel over there, and we'll show you that in a second. But everybody had to park in the garage, so no one was allowed to park outside in the driveway or in the street. Otherwise, they would fine us according to that hidden contract that we had to sign last minute. Here's the final bathroom. It's the one that's downstairs. It was super tiny, and the toilet was not very good. It was a low water toilet, and yet they did a jug in there to actually make it even less water, so when you push the flush button it was absolutely useless.
All right, everybody.
All right, so now you've seen the Airbnb.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a fun week. We stayed there for a whole week.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Some of the positives I have to say is that it's actually really close to the airport and the Strip. The beds were comfortable. There was enough space for everybody that stayed there.
The pool was nice. It wasn't huge, but it was definitely a nice little walk-in, really chilly.
Yeah, it was a really cold week, so unfortunately the pool was not as refreshing as we would needed it to be.
Nice big downstairs spaces, 2 big living room, family room areas, big dining area in case you wanted to cook. They had all that stuff to cook too.
Yeah, there was like a formal dining room, there was an informal dining room, there was a laundry room, so if you needed to do laundry, that was there. Had a 2-car garage, so we were able to park both our cars there. And it was in a quiet neighborhood. Yeah, overall an okay experience. There were some downfalls though. One of the big ones was we were so close to the airport that you just kept hearing planes all the time. Wow, for all those people who live there, I'm sorry. But I couldn't do it long term. For short term, it's not bad. You can kind of get used to it, but for long term, no way. Yeah, there was also a lot of rules for Airbnb. We couldn't have people who weren't us, like I think it was the 5 of us. Outside of the 5 of us, nobody else could come to the Airbnb, so we weren't able to invite any family or friends. Which really threw some hiccups into our kind of gathering because we had tons of people from different areas, from friends to family to both sides of our families, where we couldn't really bring them to a central location that was free. We had hoped this would be it, but it didn't work out. Yeah, it's just rules and regulations, unfortunately. It was still a little bit under renovation too. Like
Yeah.
not everything was 100% completed. You could see they were trying, but it just wasn't 100% done yet.
Yeah, when she says that, like some of the landscaping stuff wasn't done, some of the floor work, like missing tile work and stuff by the garage door, holes in the wall still where they still hadn't patched them. Some of the stuff wasn't functioning correctly, like showers weren't heating up when they were supposed to and stuff like that.
Wi-Fi.
So it's basically like someone bought this to basically flip, and the market hasn't been what they wanted to, so then they try to Airbnb it, and they're not done with it. So it's kind of like this hodgepodge of stuff. Not super great in that aspect.
Yeah, but overall, I definitely enjoyed our stay at the Airbnb. It was comfortable. We got to hang out with our family, and so huge shout out to Jenny and Nicole for getting that for everybody to enjoy. We really appreciate it.
And definitely a legit tip is to make sure to read the small print. I think that's the biggest thing with Airbnbs, just in general too, not just in Vegas. There's a lot of small print. Like this one had the small print of there's supposedly they're monitoring your sound and stuff. I don't know if they really are.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of stupid stuff like that that's in the small print. It's like I'm renting your house. Either I'm renting something or I'm not renting something, in my opinion. And it's just sort of messed up.
Yeah, so definitely keep that in mind when you guys rent Airbnbs.
And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so that you get updated on when we do more videos like this, because we'll definitely be staying at more hotels and other things around the Las Vegas Strip in the coming year.
Yeah, so we will see you guys in our next adventure, and thank you for tagging along with us today.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, bye.
Bye.